Okay, so I'm going to make a video going over the exit ticket. In particular, people asked a lot about the box plot and the histogram. Your first step, whenever you're given a list of data, is to put that data into order from smallest number to the biggest number. So I'm going to do that here. Let's start with 2. One suggestion is to cross off the numbers as you go. 2, 2. Then we have a 5, and then another 5. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixes. Looks like we have a 7. And then after that, it's 12, 13, 13, 15. So I'll go down to the second line. 12, 13, 13, and 15. And that looks like we've got it all. So that's always your first step. Okay, so for the mean, you add up all those numbers and then divide by how many there are. It looks like there are 15 numbers. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 numbers. So you add them all up. Please use a calculator. I saw some of you doing this by hand. It's easy to make a mistake by hand. Just use a calculator. So 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 12 plus 13 plus 13 plus 15. You should get 110 as your total. So divide by 15 numbers. Your mean would be 7.3 repeating. Don't round it to the nearest whole number. At least do 2 decimal places. So 7.33, or you could put the line on top. So the mean is 7.33. If there's 15 numbers, that means the midway point is going to be the 8th number in the list. That'll give you 7 numbers on each side. So if we count to the 8th number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it is this 6 right here. There are 7 numbers on the left side of that, and there are 7 numbers on the right side of that. So 6 is my median. 6 is also my mode because it's the most common number. The range is the largest number minus the smallest number, which gives me 13. Now, something that is super important, I'm going to say this twice. You have to hear this information. You need to space out your number line evenly. Do not write 2, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 15. That is not spacing it evenly. That is not what you do. You do not put just the numbers from the data on your axis. You need to space it out evenly. This is so important. I will keep repeating myself. Space it out evenly. That means you count by the same number every time. So I'm going to count here by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now I use my numbers. I have 2 values of 2, so I put 2 dots. I have 2 values of 5, so I put 2 dots. I have 6 sixes, so I put 6 dots right above the 6. Then I have a 7, so I put 1 dot at a 7. Then I don't have 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s. I have a 12, 2 13s, and I have a 15. That is your dot plot. Now with your histogram, it is super important that you space it out evenly. You get to choose what you count by, but you need to space it out evenly. I might count by 4s, 5s, 6s, 10s, whatever, but you need to do it evenly. I'm going to count by 5s here. So this first is going to be 0, then this will be 5, and this will be 10, and this will be 15, and this will be 20. What I'm doing is counting how many data points are in each of those intervals, and I'm going to round down. So what does that mean? I'm going to take 5 and round it down to 0 to 5. So when I look at it, how many numbers are in between 0 and 5? Well, I'll use a different color to count these. Here are the numbers that are between 0 and 5 if I round down. There are 4 of those numbers. So when I go over to my 0 to 5 area, I draw a rectangle with a height of 1, 2, 3, 4. The height of the rectangle tells you how many numbers fit into that bucket, into that interval. Then I count how many numbers are in between 5 and 10. All of these numbers here are in between 5 and 10. There are 7 of them. So my 5 and 10 rectangle will be the tallest one. So 5, 6, 7. So there's 7, 6, 5. Then I count how many numbers are in between 10 and 15. Remember, I'm rounding down. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. If I chose to round it up, my histogram would look different. And I'll do that for you here in green. So let's do this. I will label this pink one as a round down situation, and I'll draw a separate one in green as a round up situation. So the pink histogram is a round down. The green histogram will be a round up. So I count the same intervals, 0 to 5, but this time I count the 2's are in that interval, and then the 5's are included in the next interval. And these are included in the 10 to 15, and this is in the 15 to 20. So how does that look different? My first rectangle would only be a height of 2. My second rectangle now actually has 9 dots in it, so I have to go a little higher. My third rectangle now only has 3 dots in it. And my fourth rectangle has 1 dot in it. Both of those are correct histograms. You just need to be consistent. On the next problem, we have to find a box plot. And a box plot means you are finding the median, the minimum, and the maximum, and also the first quartile and the third quartile. You might forget what the first and third quartile are, but if you know how to find a median, you automatically know how to find the first and the third quartile. I'm going to use red for this. I found the median earlier of 6. What does a median do? It cuts your data into 2 halves. The half that is smaller than the median and the half that is bigger than the median. Find the median again. I'm going to find the median of the small half. How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is the middle number. There are 3 numbers to the left of 5 and 3 numbers to the right of 5. Let's do the same thing on the bigger half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the middle number because there are 3 numbers on either side. Using that data, I can do everything that I need to do to draw my box plot. So here's going to be my box plot. I'm going to draw my box plot just because of the way the screen works. I'm going to draw my box plot right here on top of the number line that I made for my dot plot. So look how it goes here. My box plot starts at 2, and then right at 5, that's the first quartile, so I begin my box. 6 is the median, so I draw the middle of my box. 12 is my third quartile, and 15 is my maximum. That's your box plot. Now, as far as the shape, you could have either said it's pretty symmetric, especially if you look at the pink histogram, that is a very symmetric shape. Or you could have said it's slightly skewed right. If you look at the box plot, or if you look at the green histogram, you might say it's skewed right. Either one is correct. This is what we should know how to do by now. If you don't know how to do it, practice it. Watch these videos. Go back and look at the extra practice from last week's module. But we need to have these skills down in order to do the project and in order to be successful on the unit test. Thank you, and please request more videos if you have any remaining questions.